I only thought it, then she turned and purred. Careful, human, I hear everything. Dr. Alex Mercer stepped carefully through the dense jungle, the humid air clinging to his skin like a second layer. His boots sank slightly into the soft, moss-covered ground with each step, and the alien foliage brushed against his sleeves. The colony team had sent him ahead to catalog the local plant life, and Alex welcomed the quiet. Out here, he could think, focus, and feel closer to the living world around him. The alien forest pulsed with life, unlike anything on Earth. Trees stretched like green towers into the misty sky, their leaves reflecting colors Alex could not name. Strange vines moved slowly as though watching him, and small creatures flitted just out of view. He paused to make a note in his field tablet, squinting at a flower with petals that shimmered like metal in the dappled sunlight. "This species is fascinating," he murmured to himself. "Adaptive but cautious, possibly sentient in some form." He hadn't realized how quietly he had spoken until a soft sound made him freeze. It was almost like a whisper, a vibration in the air that seemed to echo his own thoughts. Alex glanced around, scanning the shadows. Nothing. Shaking his head, he muttered, "It's just the wind or stress." But then he heard it again, a voice soft, melodic, and teasing echoing in his mind. "Careful, human, I hear everything." Alex spun around, eyes wide, scanning the trees. His heart raced. The voice was clear in his head, perfectly understandable, but it had not come from any human. It had come from somewhere else, somewhere alive. From the corner of his eye, he caught movement. There, crouched on a branch like a shadow in the mist, was a creature he could barely comprehend. Its body was sleek and feline, with silver fur that shimmered faintly in the light. Its eyes, enormous and golden, locked on his with an unsettling intelligence. It tilted its head as if studying him, reading not just his movements but his thoughts. Alex stumbled backward, almost dropping his tablet. I must be hallucinating," he whispered aloud, but deep down he knew he was. The creature leapt down lightly, landing on all fours with a grace that defied physics. It padded toward him silently, never breaking eye contact. Alex's mind raced. He had read about telepathic species, of course, but he had never encountered one, and certainly not one so clearly aware of his thoughts. "I'm not going to hurt you," he said, holding out a hand. "I just want to understand." The alien blinked slowly, almost in amusement, before sitting back on its haunches. Its tail flicked lazily, brushing the leaves. Then, in a whisper that seemed to resonate directly in his mind, it spoke again. "Understanding is different from thinking. Be careful, human." Not all thoughts should escape. Alex swallowed hard. I wasn't thinking anything dangerous," he stammered, though he realized that was probably irrelevant. The creature could hear him anyway. For a long moment they studied each other. Alex's mind swirled with questions, theories, and a growing sense of wonder. How intelligent was this species? How long had it been observing the colony? And more importantly, could he communicate with it? Finally, he took a cautious step closer. "Can you understand me?" The creature's eyes narrowed slightly, tilting its head again. Then, almost imperceptibly, it nodded. Alex's pulse quickened. "I'm Dr. Alex Mercer. I'm here to study the planet, the plants, the life I want to learn." A low, purring hum vibrated in his mind. "Learning is interesting. Curiosity is dangerous but sometimes valuable. You may proceed." Alex blinked. His heart thudded so hard he thought the creature might hear it too. Did it just allow me to approach? He took another step forward, careful to keep his movements slow and deliberate. "Thank you," he whispered aloud, though the creature likely did not need the words. "I promise I won't harm your world if you let me in." The alien studied him for a long time, tail curling around its paws. Then it leapt into the air and landed lightly on a nearby rock. Its fur shimmered as if reflecting something unseen. "I will watch. You must be careful. Not all humans think as carefully as you." Alex nodded, though he wasn't sure if it could see him nod in thought or action. He glanced back toward the colony. The rest of his team was nowhere in sight, and he felt a pang of loneliness. Yet, strangely, he didn't feel afraid. There was something about the creature, something honest and aware, that made him trust it more than he trusted most humans he knew. He crouched to inspect a nearby plant, glancing up at the alien. "Do you ever interact with humans?" he asked cautiously. A soft vibration hummed in his mind. "Some, rarely, most do not understand. They take, they break. You are different." Alex smiled slightly, relief washing over him. "I want to understand, not take. I want to learn from you, not hurt you." The alien blinked slowly. "Words are easy, thoughts are harder, actions will show." Alex's mind raced. This was more than he had ever hoped for. Not only was the species intelligent, it seemed capable of moral judgment, evaluating intent. Humans prided themselves on intelligence, but here was a species that could read thoughts, and yet it had chosen to trust him at least a little. He rose slowly to his feet. "I'll be careful," he said aloud. "I promise." The creature purred softly in response, a sound that echoed in his head more like a vibration than noise. Then, without warning, it darted into the undergrowth, disappearing as if it had never been there. Alex stood frozen for several moments, trying to process everything. His mind buzzed with questions. How many of them are there? Can they communicate with each other? Are they all telepathic? But one thought remained constant. He had made contact. The first step toward understanding something utterly alien and yet profoundly intelligent. The hours passed quickly. Alex cataloged more plants, recorded notes, and occasionally felt the subtle, almost imperceptible awareness of being observed. Every so often, he could swear he felt the creature's eyes on him, even when he couldn't see it. When he returned to the colony in the late afternoon, his team immediately noticed the change in his demeanor. "Alex, you look different," said Dr. Ramirez, his supervisor. "What did you find?" Alex hesitated. Could he explain what had happened? The truth sounded impossible. "I think I've made contact," he said carefully, "with an intelligent species, and it knows my thoughts." Ramirez raised an eyebrow. "Knows your thoughts? Alex, are you feeling well? You've been out there for hours alone." Alex ignored the doubt in his voice. "I'm fine. I just think this species can communicate, but not like we do, not with words." The team exchanged uneasy glances. They were scientists, logical, cautious. And yet Alex saw the spark of excitement in some of their eyes. If he was right, this could be a groundbreaking discovery. That night Alex lay in his quarters, unable to sleep. He thought of the creature, its golden eyes, its soft purring, the way it had tilted its head as if truly thinking. And then the voice echoed again in his mind, soft and teasing. "Careful, human, I hear everything." Alex smiled despite himself. "I will be careful," he whispered, "and I'll learn everything I can." For the first time in his life, he felt both terrified and exhilarated. He had stepped into a world far beyond human understanding, and he had survived the first encounter. Somewhere in the jungle, golden eyes watched him from the shadows. And for the first time, Alex understood that humanity's greatest strength wasn't just intelligence or technology. It was the courage to reach out, to connect, and to understand, even when the universe itself seemed unknowable. The next morning, Alex awoke before the sun even touched the horizon. The events of the previous day weighed on his mind like a bright, unshakable spark. He could not stop thinking about the alien, the one that had whispered in his mind. Its golden eyes haunted him. But more than that, its trust lingered in him, fragile and fragile, waiting for him to honor it. He dressed quickly and grabbed his field tablet. Today, he decided, he would not wait for another chance encounter. He would seek it. The jungle greeted him with a chorus of sounds. The hum of unseen insects, the rustle of leaves as creatures moved unseen, and the distant call of a bird-like animal whose song was too complex to belong to any Earth species. The air was thick and warm, carrying the scent of damp earth and blossoms he could not identify. He walked slowly, speaking softly, though he knew the creature might hear his thoughts anyway. "I'm not here to hurt you. I want to learn. I want to understand." A soft vibration resonated in his mind almost immediately. Words again. "Do you act as well as you speak?" Alex froze, smiling nervously. I hope so." The jungle shifted around him. From behind a dense wall of ferns, golden eyes emerged once more. The alien watched him, crouched lightly on a mossy rock. Its silver fur glimmered faintly, reflecting the first pale light of dawn. Alex approached slowly. He knelt at a respectful distance, careful not to make sudden movements. "I want to know your name. And the names of your people if you have them." The creature's ears twitched and a soft hum echoed in his mind. "I am leery, others are cautious. You must show patience. Others do not trust humans." Alex nodded, absorbing every word. "I understand. I will be patient. I will earn your trust." Leary's tail flicked once, and then it leapt silently into the foliage, disappearing from sight. Alex waited, watching the leaves sway gently as if stirred by an invisible wind. Minutes passed, then an hour, then two. The alien had vanished, leaving him with his thoughts, his notes, and a growing sense of both anticipation and worry. Finally, movement caught his eye. Leary emerged from the shadows again, this time accompanied by another figure. A smaller creature, perhaps younger, moved with less precision, but the intelligence in its eyes mirrored Leary's. The sight sent a thrill through Alex. The alien wasn't alone. "Your people, they're real," he whispered aloud. "You're not the only one." A soft vibration pulsed in his mind. Observation is necessary. Humans often do not see beyond themselves. Alex nodded again, scribbling notes on his tablet. "I see beyond myself. I want to understand you." For hours, Alex moved carefully through the jungle, speaking softly, making gestures and noting Leary's reactions. At first, the alien watched him like a teacher observing a student. When he made a cautious movement to examine a luminous plant, Leary mirrored him, stepping lightly onto a nearby branch, showing interest but no threat. Alex began to realize something extraordinary. The alien didn't just hear his thoughts, it could read his intentions. A careless movement or a dishonest thought could provoke mistrust, or worse. Humans often assumed intelligence was enough to succeed. Here, trust mattered more than skill. By midday, Alex felt confident enough to try something bold. He carefully lifted a small, glowing seed pod from the ground. "I want to study this," he said aloud, keeping his tone gentle. "I will return it unharmed." Leary's mind-brushing vibration was quick and sharp. "Careful, intention matters." Alex froze. He realized he had not just been thinking about taking the pod, he had been thinking about keeping it for himself. His cheeks burned with shame. I will return it," he corrected, placing the pod gently on a nearby leaf. The alien's tail twitched slowly. "You choose correctly. That is the first step." Alex felt a surge of relief. In that moment, he understood that communication here was more than words. It was honesty, action, and respect. The hours passed quickly. Alex explored, always careful, always aware of Leary's presence. Every so often, the alien's soft, purring thoughts brushed his mind, offering guidance, questions, and even subtle warnings. When he returned to the colony at dusk, he found his team gathered around the central lab. "Alex, where have you been, Doctor?" Ramirez's voice was stern but tinged with curiosity. Alex held up his tablet. "I've found something, someone, and it's unlike anything we've seen before. We can learn from them, but only if we are careful, honest, and respectful." Ramirez frowned. "Learn from a creature. Alex, you're walking alone in the jungle. You risk more than just your life. You risk the mission, the colony." Alex cut him off gently. "I know, but I've made a connection. It's intelligent. It can communicate in ways we don't fully understand. We need to listen, not just observe." The team exchanged skeptical glances. Some were intrigued, others worried. Alex didn't blame them. Humans had never encountered anything like this. He himself still struggled to fully understand the creature's abilities. That night, Alex lay in his quarters, replaying every moment of the day. The golden eyes, the soft vibrations in his mind, the way Leary had reacted to his intentions, it all made him realize how fragile trust could be. Humans were clever, but their cleverness often ignored morality. Here, morality mattered. A gentle hum pulsed in his thoughts. "You think carefully, you act carefully. That is rare," Alex smiled. "I will continue to act carefully. I want to learn more." Over the next few days, Alex returned to the jungle repeatedly. Each encounter with Leary strengthened a delicate bond. The alien introduced subtle games, testing his patience, his honesty, and his curiosity. It led him to plants with healing properties, guided him past dangerous terrain, and even showed him hidden water sources. During one excursion, Alex heard the faint echo of movement behind him. Another creature, larger and more intimidating than Leary, emerged. It towered like a silver shadow, eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. Alex froze, but Leary stepped forward, purring in warning. "Careful, human. Do not provoke. Observe." Alex nodded, keeping his hands visible, speaking softly. "I am here to learn, not to fight. I will not harm you." The larger creature watched him silently, then slowly retreated into the foliage, leaving Alex with a profound sense of awe. He realized that the forest held beings far older, far wiser than humans had ever imagined. And yet here he was, small, fragile, and human, being allowed to witness it. He returned to the colony with tales of his discoveries. Some of the team began to believe him, others remained skeptical, but Alex didn't mind. He knew that the true learning was happening in the jungle, where trust, patience, and careful thought mattered more than any technology or equipment. One evening, while analyzing samples near the edge of the jungle, Alex felt it again, the subtle awareness, the soft hum brushing against his mind. Leary appeared silently, eyes bright in the fading light. "You have acted well, human. You learn fast. Others may yet fail." "You are unusual." Alex's heart lifted. "Thank you, Leary. I will continue to learn. I want to understand you and your world." A soft vibration pulsed through his mind. "Then follow. There is more to see, more to understand. You must act, not just observe." Alex felt a thrill of anticipation. The days of cautious observation were ending. He was about to enter a deeper part of the jungle, a place few humans had ever reached, and perhaps see wonders that would change humanity's understanding of life itself. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of crimson and gold, Alex took a deep breath. He knew that every step he took in this alien world required honesty, courage, and patience, and he felt ready. Somewhere in the jungle, Leary's golden eyes followed him, patient, intelligent, and alive with quiet approval. And for the first time, Alex realized that humanity's greatest strength might not be technology, speed, or firepower. It was the ability to think, to care, and to act with purpose in a universe that often seemed indifferent. The forest whispered around him, alive with secrets, challenges, and knowledge. And Alex Mercer, human among the unknown, stepped forward, ready to meet them all. The jungle grew darker as Alex pushed further into the unknown. The thick canopy blocked most of the sunlight, and the air was heavy with humidity and the scent of alien flora. He moved carefully, every step deliberate, listening to the subtle vibrations that told him Leary was near. Each sound, each rustle of leaves seemed to carry a message, a warning, or a lesson. "Patience and attention," Leary's thought hum echoed in his mind. "Do not rush. Do not assume. Observe." Alex nodded, though the alien could not see him. He had learned quickly that his thoughts were transparent here. Even the tiniest slip in focus or honesty could change the way Leary responded. And yet, the reward for careful action was extraordinary. Knowledge, insight, and guidance that no human had ever experienced. He came to a small clearing where the light filtered through in thin beams, revealing plants that glowed softly, as if lit from within. Leary appeared almost immediately, moving like liquid silver through the underbrush, eyes fixed on Alex. This area is delicate. Many die here without understanding. Observe closely, Leary thought. Alex crouched and examined a glowing flower, noting its unusual pattern and vibrant colors. As he made his observations, he heard a faint rumble in the distance, a vibration that grew steadily stronger. The ground beneath his boots trembled slightly. Danger approaches, Leary's mind brush warned him. Move carefully but do not panic. Alex's pulse quickened. He looked around, trying to locate the source. Suddenly, a massive shape emerged from the trees, a hulking, armored creature with multiple limbs and jagged teeth, its eyes reflecting a cold intelligence. Alex froze, knowing instantly that this was not a creature to be underestimated. Do not run. They hunt by movement and fear. Calm, controlled action only, Leary's warning resonated in his mind. Alex swallowed hard and stayed still, focusing on steadying his breath. Slowly, he raised his hands to show he meant no harm. The creature paused, sniffing the air, its many eyes scanning him. His mind raced. How could he survive this encounter? Weapons would do little against a predator designed for speed and strength. Only intelligence and observation might save him. He remembered the lessons Leary had subtly taught him: patience, honesty, and careful movement. Alex studied the creature closely, noting the rhythm of its steps, the way its limbs flexed, the slight hesitations in its gait. He realized it was cautious, aware, but not mindlessly aggressive. "All right," he whispered, barely moving his lips. "Think, Alex, think." He noticed a pattern. The creature avoided certain plants, bending its massive limbs around them. Carefully, Alex stepped in the same way, mimicking its path, keeping his movements deliberate and slow. Each step was calculated, each breath measured. The creature watched him, curious but not attacking. "Clever," Leary's thought vibration said. "Humans sometimes survive by thinking, not by strength. Continue." Alex's confidence grew, but he did not let it show. One wrong move, one thought of panic, and the creature could end him. He approached the clearing's edge, noticing a small stream. The creature had stayed on one side, ignoring the water. Alex decided to follow its lead, keeping his steps aligned with the natural pattern he observed. Minutes felt like hours. The jungle seemed to hold its breath. Alex's mind was razor-sharp, focusing entirely on survival and observation. Finally, the creature lost interest, turning back toward the deeper forest, leaving Alex unharmed but exhilarated. He exhaled slowly, heart still racing. "I survived," he thought, though he knew that survival was more than luck. It was observation, intelligence, and respect for the world around him. Leary appeared again, sitting elegantly on a nearby rock, eyes gleaming with quiet approval. "You act as you think. That is rare. Humans often fail here because they act without understanding. You are different." Alex bowed his head slightly, a gesture of respect. "Thank you, Leary. I learned from watching, not fighting." The alien's tail flicked lazily. "Learning is necessary. Strength alone is nothing. Now see more. There is a place few humans reach." Curiosity and determination surged in Alex. He followed Leary deeper into the jungle, navigating dense undergrowth and crossing streams that shimmered with bioluminescent creatures. Each step felt like entering a new world. Strange plants curled and twisted around one another, forming natural arches and corridors. Sounds of unseen creatures echoed, some melodic, some menacing. Finally, they reached a plateau overlooking a valley unlike anything Alex had ever imagined. The valley was filled with enormous, crystalline plants, each one pulsing faintly as if breathing. Streams of luminous water wound through the landscape, feeding vast gardens that seemed almost artificial in their perfection. And moving among them were creatures like Leary, some large, some small, all watching and interacting with the plants in ways that suggested intelligence and care. Alex's breath caught. "It's beautiful, incredible, and alive." "It is more than alive. It is a system." A mind that watches, learns, and adapts. You are seeing only a part, Leary said in his mind. Others fail because they see but do not understand. You may understand. He spent hours observing, making notes, careful not to disturb the ecosystem. Leary guided him silently, showing him how the creatures communicated, how they tended the plants, and how the valley thrived. Each observation revealed the depth of intelligence in this world, far beyond human technology, yet functioning with elegance and balance. As dusk approached, a sudden vibration in the ground warned Alex of approaching danger. From the far side of the valley, massive shadows moved. A group of large, predatory creatures advanced, their eyes glowing red in the dim light. Alex froze, heart pounding. You may face more than one challenge now, Leary's mind warned. Use your knowledge, act with reason. Fear will destroy you. Alex quickly scanned the valley. He noticed that the predators avoided certain crystalline plants, and small pathways among the structures allowed movement without alerting them. He signaled silently to Leary, and the alien moved beside him, its presence a steadying force. Step by careful step, Alex led them through the hidden paths, mimicking the patterns he had observed before. The predators tracked them, but Alex's careful movements, combined with Leary's guidance, kept them safe. Clever, Leary purred in his mind. Humans are fragile yet capable of thought. You survive by using your mind, not your strength. Finally, they reached the far edge of the valley. Alex exhaled, relief washing over him. He realized that every moment had tested him, not just his intelligence but his patience, his honesty, and his ability to remain calm under pressure. Leary sat beside him, tail curling around its paws. You have learned quickly. You act with respect, curiosity, and care. Others fail. You succeed. Alex smiled, exhausted but exhilarated. I understand now. It's not about dominating the world or even controlling it. It's about observing, learning, and respecting it. Yes, that is why you are unusual. That is why you may survive here, Leary's thought vibration echoed. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the valley in shades of violet and gold, Alex felt a deep sense of connection, not just with Leary but with the entire ecosystem he had witnessed. He understood for the first time that intelligence was not just measured in technology or weapons, but in awareness, morality, and the ability to act thoughtfully. The jungle around him whispered, alive with hidden eyes and quiet minds. Alex knew the challenges ahead would be even greater, but he also knew that he had proven something vital. Humanity's strength was not only in its cleverness, but in its ability to learn, adapt, and act with purpose. Leary's golden eyes met his one last time before disappearing into the shadows. Rest now, human. Tomorrow you will see more, and you must act wisely, for the trials will grow harder, but I trust you for now. Alex nodded, feeling a mixture of exhaustion and anticipation. He returned to the colony under the fading light, his mind buzzing with what he had learned and seen. He realized that the universe was far larger, more complex, and more intelligent than he had ever imagined. And humanity, small, fragile, yet capable of great thought, could rise to meet it. For the first time, Alex felt the full weight and potential of human ingenuity. The jungle had tested him and he had survived, not through force but through patience, observation, and courage. And he knew that the next challenge would demand even more. The jungle was quieter than usual the next morning. Alex moved carefully, alert to every sound, every shadow. Leary had led him deeper into the heart of the valley, where the air was cooler and the plants glowed softly, reflecting colors he had never seen before. The deeper he went, the more he realized that this was not just a forest but a living network of intelligence, a mind spread across the land, aware of every creature, every thought, and every intention. You are ready, Leary's voice whispered in his mind. The greatest test lies ahead. You must act, not only think, you must show worth. Alex's pulse quickened. He did not know what to expect, but he trusted Leary. He had learned the alien's lessons. patience, honesty, observation, and careful action. And now he understood that trust was fragile yet powerful. They reached a clearing unlike any other. Towering crystalline structures rose from the ground, pulsing with soft light. Streams of liquid shimmered with energy, feeding the valley and the plants. And standing at the center of the clearing was a massive creature, easily 3 times Leary's size, with skin that gleamed like polished silver and eyes that reflected everything around it. Alex felt a shiver of awe. This was the guardian of the valley, the final test. "Humans have rarely seen me," a deep voice echoed in his mind. "Most act with greed, fear, or ignorance. Why should I allow you to pass?" Alex swallowed hard, then spoke as clearly in his thoughts as he could. "I come with respect, curiosity, and honesty. I seek to understand, not to harm. I want to learn from your world." The Guardian's eyes glowed brighter, and the jungle around Alex seemed to hold its breath. Many humans speak such words. Few act as they think. "Show me, human. Show me you are worthy." Alex nodded and stepped forward carefully. He had observed the Guardian and its surroundings for hours, noting patterns, reactions, and safe paths. Using what he had learned, he moved slowly, deliberately, keeping his intentions pure. Every step, every breath was controlled. He reached the edge of a small stream, and the Guardian's gaze followed him, measuring, testing. Suddenly, a misstep. Alex slipped on wet moss, almost falling into the stream. The Guardian's eyes narrowed, a warning humming through his mind. "Do not falter. Focus. Intention matters more than strength." Alex steadied himself immediately, taking a deep breath. "I will act with care," he thought firmly, correcting his mistake. He moved forward again, using his observation skills to mimic the natural rhythms of the valley. The Guardian remained still, watching, testing, evaluating. Hours seemed to pass as Alex navigated the clearing. Finally, he reached a smaller plateau where the Guardian allowed him to step. Here, plants glowed more brightly, and he noticed that his thoughts seemed calmer, more focused. Leary appeared at his side, her golden eyes gleaming with quiet pride. "You have come far, human. Now you must face the last trial," Leary's voice whispered. "It is not strength, nor speed, nor even cleverness. It is judgment. You must act wisely." From the far side of the plateau, a small creature emerged, one of the predatory animals Alex had seen earlier. It limped, wounded, clearly struggling to survive. The Guardian pulsed a warning in Alex's mind. "Kill or leave it. Your choice will show your worth." Alex hesitated. Humans might have seen the creature as a threat to safety, but he understood the valley, the balance, and the creature's roles within it. Killing it would be easy, helping it would require courage and wisdom. He knelt beside the injured animal, speaking softly. "I'm not going to hurt you. I'll help." Carefully, he examined the wound and used his knowledge of alien plants to create a poultice that would aid healing. Leary watched silently, the Guardian's gaze fixed on him. Humans rarely act with such care, the Guardian thought. You do not kill what can be saved. You act with understanding. Alex treated the creature until it could stand on its own, and then he helped it back into the safety of the forest. The Guardian pulsed with energy, and the light in the clearing intensified. The jungle itself seemed to hum in approval. You have shown thought, honesty, and compassion. You are not like most humans, you act wisely. You are worthy, the Guardian's voice resonated in his mind. Alex exhaled, relief washing over him. He had faced the final trial, and it had not been about strength, speed, or cleverness alone. It had been about understanding, morality, and respect for life. He realized in that moment that this was the essence of human potential, why humans could survive, adapt, and even thrive in a universe that was often indifferent. Leary purred softly beside him. You have done well, Alex Mercer. Others may yet fail, but you are different. You may learn, explore, and teach. The Guardian moved closer, bowing its massive head slightly, a gesture of trust and recognition. The valley pulsed brighter, as if acknowledging Alex's actions. He felt a deep sense of connection with every living thing around him. He was not just observing life, he was part of it and it had accepted him. "Thank you," Alex thought, speaking not just to Leary but to the Guardian and perhaps to the valley itself. "I will honor this trust. I will learn and share what I can, carefully and respectfully." For the next several days, Alex explored the valley under Leary's guidance. He learned to communicate more effectively, not with words alone, but with thoughts, gestures, and actions. He discovered plants with extraordinary healing properties, animals with unique intelligence, and ecosystems so complex that human technology could only begin to understand them. He returned to the colony with detailed notes, samples, and observations. His team was amazed by the discoveries, but Alex also emphasized what was most important. The humans must act with care and respect. Technology alone would not earn trust. Strength alone would not secure survival. Only intelligence paired with morality could unlock the valley's secrets. As the days passed, Alex became a bridge between humans and the valley's sentient life. He continued to visit, always careful, always observing, always learning. Leary and the other creatures grew to trust him, allowing him to witness and participate in the subtle, incredible workings of their world. One evening, as the sun set in fiery streaks across the alien sky, Alex sat quietly beside Leary on a moss-covered rock. The valley glowed softly, pulsing with life, and he felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude and awe. "You have acted well, human. You have learned, you have survived, you have shown worth. Humanity has potential if it chooses to act as you do." Leary's mind resonated with him. Alex smiled. "I will continue to learn, I will help others understand. Humanity can do more than survive. We can grow and we can respect life everywhere, not just here." Leary purred softly in agreement. "Then you are ready. You may return to your world but carry this lesson. Intelligence is valuable, strength is useful, but understanding, compassion, that is rare. That is what sets humans apart." Alex nodded, feeling the weight and power of those words. He knew that the universe was vast and full of unknowns, but he also knew that humans had something unique to offer, the ability to think, to act with morality, and to learn from mistakes. The valley pulsed once more, a final recognition of his journey. Alex stood, looking out over the glowing landscape, feeling a bond with a world far beyond human understanding. He realized that his mission had changed forever. It was no longer about cataloging plants or animals. It was about understanding, sharing, and respecting life in all its forms. As he turned to return to the colony, Leary brushed past him, golden eyes shining in quiet pride. "Be careful, human, but you have earned your ears." Alex smiled, feeling a deep, unwavering resolve. He had survived, he had learned, and he had proven that humanity, though fragile and small, could rise to meet the challenges of the universe with intelligence, courage, and compassion. And somewhere in the glowing valley, creatures watched, learned, and trusted him. Humanity had earned a place here, not through dominance or power, but through understanding, patience, and the quiet strength of doing what was right. For Alex, and perhaps for all humans, the journey had only just begun.